Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Ma'am Devi. Today I will going to present for the ACL in the final exam case using the sample project.acl. So the first one is for accounts receivable, which is to test the accuracy of sales price in invoice by comparing the data from sales transaction and inventory list. And then document and view your findings and comment on the result. So here we will check for the sales price in invoice, which means we will need the invoice amount and then the sales price and then other information such as the quantity, and then maybe compared with the unit cost. So we will try to do that. So from accounts receivable, we have those information, invoice amount and quantity. When we click on the transaction, so we will join the transaction and the inventory. By doing that, we need to click data and then join tables. And then for the second one should be on inventory. For the primary keys, the primary key and the secondary key should be the same. So after checking, the product number of both is the same. So product number and product number. I'm sorry. And then we click OK. So for the primary fields, we will need the product number and then the invoice amount, because the question said in invoice, and then we need the quantity. Then we click OK. So for the secondary fields, we will need the sales price and then the unit cost. And then we pre-sort, check whether the secondary is okay, it still exists. The name for this is joint underscore trans underscore inventory. Then we click OK. So here we see that there are product number and then the invoice amount and then the quantity, sales price, and unit cost. So according to this, the sales price should be equal to the invoice amount divided by the quantity. But just by looking at this, it seems that sales price times the quantity is more than 41.93 because 7 times 0.7 is already equal to 49. So we need to check whether the invoice amount is created according to the unit cost times quantity. So we right click and then we choose add columns and then we do the expression and then we will choose the unit cost. So quantity times unit cost. Okay. We just leave it be. So here it is actually correct that the invoice amount is created not according to the sales price times the unit cost. However, that sales price times the quantity. However, the unit cost times the quantity. So to check for the accuracy, this can't be stated as inaccurate because the invoice amount or the amount that is given to the customer, the amount that the customer need to pay, or the amount that the company charged to the customer is equal to the unit cost. So in here, the company may not going to receive any profit because their cost and revenue is equal. The invoice amount should be created according to the sales price, who have the $2 difference, and then times the quantity. And this happens not only to the first product number 0101027010, but it seems that we have the similarity in invoice amount and quantity times unit cost in all of it. So from 336 records, we have it. So this is a major problem, needs to be checked further. And the second one is using the join feature to create a view for both from data in both AR and customer files that shows the customer details, which is name and address, and then for payment transactions. So this means that we need to join the AR and customer, and then we need to show name and address, and then we need the transaction also. So joining AR and customer. So we will double click the AR, which is yes, and then we click data and then join tables, do the same as before. In here, we will choose the customer. And for the primary keys, after checking, the customer number should be exist in both keys. Okay, we have customer number and customer number as the key. And for the primary fields, because for positive transaction to show transactions means that we need the transaction amount. And for the secondary fields, we will choose the customer name. And then we need some address such as the street address and then the city and then the state, also the zip code, just to make it complete. Resort secondary table, checking whether, okay. So we will name it joint underscore AR underscore customer. This, and then we click OK. So here it shows already the transaction amount, and then as requested, the company amount, for an example, Connecticut Corporation, and then Citizens International, and then the address, complete with the street address, city, state, and all the zip code. But the question asks to give only the positive amount in the view. So to do that, we will need to filter this table. We can click filter, and then for the transaction amount, it should be bigger than equal to 0 for positive. So this is the result. Using the filter amount bigger than equal to 0, the show transaction amount here is already in positive number. So for an example, Connecticut Corp, previously they have two transactions, one which is on the negative amount. Now they only have the positive transaction amount, and so on. So all of the records here shows it shows only the positive transaction amount. We can try to first count record just to know the amount of the positive amount here. We click OK. So below here, we see 610 from 772 transaction amount is positive. And to double check, we can do the stratify. So we click stratify on. We already select the amount. And then the minimum should be 0 as it is positive. And the maximum, we just click 999 4 times. Hopefully nothing's bigger than this. And then for the top, we choose free, and then we click OK. So the result is also the same. When we see the count, the totals is 610. And then the percent of account is already on 100%, 100%. The total transaction is 526,678.05. The minimum encountered was 0.00, while for the maximum encountered was 5,549.19. So these two ways, using the filter and the stratify, is intended to show the amount values, the positive amount values for the company. So to give some comments on this one, I think the other half, the other 770 minus 610, which is the 160, is on negative. And to check whether it is accurate, 160 for negative, the auditor can perform the same one, but using a different filter. So in here, maybe we do the filter using the previously using the transaction amount bigger than equal to 0, while to check the opposite, it needs to be below than 0. So we will continue the next one, which is the accounts payable. Sorry. So we need to open the AP trans to see the purchase file and then stratify it on quantity field, print the last result window. So AP trans and then stratify it on quantity field. So we have AP trans here in accounts payable file, and then we can click analyze and then choose stratify, and then in the stratify on, we choose the quantity. So in here, the minimum should be 0 because quantities could not be bigger than, could not be lower than 0. And then for the maximum, we choose 9999. So 9,999. Hopefully, it is smaller than that. So for the output, we choose the screen and then we click OK. So for the total is 102 records using the stratify. So quantity from 0 to 999, there's 97 quantity, and then the total is 18,354 from the adding for the oldest 97 transaction from 0 to 999 quantity. So here we can see that the total for quantity asked is 37,107 with the totals of 102 records. So to check this, we can see whether there are false in the quantity, because as mentioned before, the minimum encountered was 1 because we put the 0 as the minimum, but here the count is 102. So maybe we could also try the we could also try to count records. However, this is already available. Just do it and then count records, and then we click OK. And then the records is 102 records, meaning that it is exact. So for the second one, using the relation feature, create a view from both from data in both AP trans and inventory that shows the product details such as the product description and then quantity on hand, and then we need to view it. So relation feature, AP trans and inventory. So to do that, we can click the AP trans and then we click data and then relate tables. It is actually similar to the join tables. However, it is more flexible, as we can add any kinds of columns when we get there. While for in the relation table, we can only add it when we create the relation. When we join it. Sorry for the join. So actually already created, but we can repeat it once again. So the process is first to add table, and then we click for the inventory. See here that the inventory already exists, and then we need to find the same field to relate between the two. As we can see here, both files have this product number. So we will relate both of the product number, just like this, and then we click finish. So now in the AP trans, in the view, we can add information from the inventory files. Information that is asked, or columns that is asked, are the product description and quantity on hand. Okay, so we will try it. So we just right click and then add columns, and then first we can see we can find the information or columns or fields from other. We click inventory, and then the first one is product description, and then the second one is the quantity on hand. So double click, and then we click OK. So we can see here that the product description and the quantity on hand now can be viewed, while before the AP trans and inventory is on the different file. Therefore, this could not happen without using the relation table. So the relation table purpose is, for me, similar to the join table. However, it is more flexible as we can add as much columns for the table that we already related before anytime after the creation of the relation. Okay, we will jump to the third one, which is the payroll. We need to open the employee master and then test for duplicates, employee records, and then prepare a last result report that identifies anomalies or potential errors, and then print and then comment on the result. So for the payroll, so I'm sorry, for the payroll, meaning the using the employee master. Here is the employee master file. We just save it. Employee master file. Sorry. The objective is to test for duplicates. So first, we will try to test for duplicates. We click analyze and then look for duplicates. And then we can try just to add all of it first before then entering some characteristics. And then make sure the output is to screen. So here, when checking for the duplicates in all, we have 47 records with 0 duplicates detected. Once again, maybe just to make sure, we can look for duplicates. So in the employee master, maybe we have same same phone number, but maybe we have difference in here. So we click all of it. So there are 10 duplicates here. However, I think this is not something that is dangerous for the company. So 10 duplicates, phone number 0672, 0672 with different address. And then we have some duplications also, different phone number with same address, and then same birth date, and then same bonus, and then different city. And then we have same commission. So the problem here is when using the employee master, we can get this information. However, I'm not sure whether the bonus here or the commission here or other like the salary is paid in one, because we didn't have the date for the payment of the salary. So here maybe the person could have phone number. However, it is hard to tell. And then this is the result for the duplicates. So same phone number, but different in address, different in city, different in name and country, but they have different country. So I think this could give something for the auditor. Hopefully it's not something that is dangerous for the company. To check for further, we can use the second one. So in the payroll, one of the problem is payment to fictitious vendors, payment to fictitious employee. So we will need to join between the employee master and then the payroll. Employee master and payroll. So for payroll, we can click data and then join tables, and then the secondary table should be the employee master. For the key. Okay, so for the key, both file have the employee number, so we will just click the employee number on both. Just a second. Here is employee number, and then we click OK. And then for the primary, we can click the check number. Check shows the payroll, the paying, and then the employee number to who. So this should be the same. And then for this working department, salary, first name, last name, we just add it all. I think in here we have check number, we don't have check number. So we will try it. Resort. So joint underscore employee underscore payroll. Okay, so we click OK. How many keys gone? Employee number. Yes, so employee number, we have it. Okay, we click OK. We just override it. So we have check number, we have employee number, and then we have working department, and then we have salaries, and then address, and then birth date, and then bonus, and then city, and some information. I think maybe we should just try to make it smaller just to ease the process. And then we click for the payroll, we click data. And then we try it once again, we join the tables. Sorry. So for employee master, and then primary keys should be employee number. And then here should be employee number 2, employee number. And then for the primary fields, we just need to present the check number and then the employee number. While for the second one, I think working department will be good. Check number and working department, because in here we will have also the first name, last name, and then first name, and then the employee number. So we click OK, resort, checking, it should still exist. Same one, join underscore employee underscore payroll, and then we click OK. So this is more simple, but the information needed to see is more visible. In here we have the some employee that didn't have the first name. And then for the records, there are 42 records. And then compare it for the payroll, there are 44 records. Mean there is additional, I might say, paying, because we only have 42 records of employee complete with the employee number. So we will need to check that using look for duplicates. So here we can double click the joint employee and payroll, and then we can analyze and then look for duplicates. The duplicate should be something that might be the same. So employee number should be the same. And then for the list field, we just add it all. Output should be on screen, and then we click OK. So here we see there are same employee number with one duplicates detected, 000320. The name is Oscar, and the last name is Beers, and then the check number is obviously different, but is in sequence. So check number 12376 and 12377. This could lead to a fraud because there is no way in normal company, a company or the management, the executives teams allows same employee to work in two different working departments, as we see here, E21 and E83. So this shows that Oscar may receive two salaries in a month or in a certain period of time, as he was also inputted or considered as working in the other department. For in here, maybe the actual one is E21 and the fictitious one is E83, and the opposite. So in here, we found that there are one duplicates, and this could lead to a fraud for payroll, and the company might pay to fictitious employee. The employee exists, but the work is not exist. So non-existent employee here for the number 2, according related to the paychecks exists, which is Oscar, working in two different departments. So the next one, we will see that the inventory to stratify the amount data, and A, stratify comment on value, and then accumulate on value. So stratify comment on value. So in inventory, we just double click the inventory, and then we click the analyze, and then we click stratify. In the stratify on, we just click the value, and then we click OK. The minimum wait, I'm going to check it first. So here the minimum is, I think, 10,167. But just to check, I think we should put it on minus 99,999, just in case. Make it easier. We click analyze and then stratify on. We click value and then we click OK. The minimum is minus 9,999, while the maximum should be the same. So, but I think it's to be bigger. So 99,999. Interval should be just free, and then we click OK. So here is the total from stratifying the two. The amount of the count is 152 with the information such as below minus 9,999. We have one inventory value, which should be the minus 10,167.6 because it is the minimum encountered, and this is the lowest one. And then for the highest, we have 1,800, with the total of inventory value at cost 680,479.94. I think for which of the numbers would be of interest to an auditor? I don't actually really understand what does it mean by the amount, but I think for the inventory value at cost for 45,000 to 99,999 as it result in zero, there should be no interest here because it is the auditor might could not find anything from here. But we have the most count, which is the 85, means that it could lead to a bigger potential fraud because many transactions happen there. The auditor needs to check more on that. And then the second one will be 53 minus 99 minus 9,999 to 1,000 and 1,000.79. So here, I think the one that should be on interest is the 85. And the second one is 53, while for the lowest and the highest only have one count each. It could also give an interest for the auditor because maybe a company that have the value of this much, it also means that it is a very precious to the company and needs to be given a lot of check in there. So I think that is all from me. Thank you so much, ma'am, for listening to this final exam. Hope you enjoyed and hope you like it. Thank you.